Hello and welcome to Stamping and Crafting with Cheryl Diana. I'm Cheryl Diana and I'm going to show you how we are going to use the owls and books that are used on the technique for the re-inker flow. So we're now going to make cards and from them. So let's go and have a look. Right, there we go. Right, okay. So in my technique video for this week, we did the re-inker flow technique where we, let me just go over it briefly, where we embossed the stamp. Now you need to have an outline that is solid rather than with gaps in it. So the only stamp set that I could find was the bird's eye view, and then you pop some water onto the stamped image. Now this was done on the watercolor paper, so it doesn't sort of soak through as much. And then we just dropped drops of the re-inker onto that, and it sort of smooched it, and then we had to dry a bit off, and this is what we came up with. Okay, so now I'm going to turn those into cards. Morning, Lisa. So I'm going to be using the bird's eye view. I want to use the branch and the leaves. And for the sentiments, I thought I would use the Simply Said stamp set because it's got a variety of sentiments in that. So as I was using the 2023 to 25 in colours, I was using Wild Wheat, which is this colour, Copper Clay, Pebbled Path, and then on the books I did some Moody Mauve and some Boho Blue. So I've cut some card bases already, and I've got some matte layers already done. So let's start making these cards. So I thought I could stamp a branch like there. So let's get my stamping mat out. Okay, and I think I'm going to use Pebble Path. Let's keep in with the colours as much as we can. Obviously the leaves, we could do Wild Wheat ones. So let's try and do an in colour card. So I'm just going to ink that up. Now I will be sorry to see this colour go. So let's just go just over. There we go, there's my branch. And let's have some leaves. And I'm going to use Wild Wheat and Copper Clay. This will be an autumn card, I've decided. So I've got my leaves already here. So it's Copper Clay one. And it's very wet, so let's just pop some leaves there. Move this up so you can see it. And let's do some Copper Clay ones on that branch. There we go. And then I think close that up because I know I will get ink everywhere. Give this stamp a clean. And we'll see if I'm actually going to be able to get another. Yes, we can get some more leaves in there. So let's do some Wild Wheat. Now this, the pen makes a lovely gold colour. There we go. So there's my leaves. And let's choose a owl. We have that one on there. I love this one more. I do, but let's have that one on there. So we can mount him on dimensionals, I think we will do. So I've got to that stage again where I'm using up my edges of my pads. So let's get some scissors and just cut into here so that they're more manageable. Because we don't like to waste stuff. Just put a snip there. And then let's pop these on here. Like so. And of course I like to have quite a few foam pads on my things, so they don't go bent in the middle. Just take off the backs. Now if you struggle with the backs, you can always get a pen, a highlighter, or one of our right markers, and literally find a sheet with some on, and then you can literally, itchy nose today, literally with a pen, literally just go like that over them, let it dry, and then you can see where they are. Okay, put that back. So my little owl's ready. He's going there. There we go. And then I want a sentiment. So I'm going to go over there. I'm already making a mess everywhere. So I'm going to now, I need something, no, let's deal with white space. Now this is something that I struggle with, is white space. So I'm going to have my sentiment down here, and I'm going to leave this, which is really weird for me. And I'm going to pop that onto there. So we've tied in the wing and the leaves with it. And the sentiment. So I want to have a white sentiment. And I want to have a, just think which one, because there's loads of these ones here that are really good. I think we might have a thinking of you one. If I can find it. There we go, it's in the middle there. So let me find a block and go rummaging in my scraps pot, and we'll could get away with a smaller bit. Let's try that bit. So all the strips that I cut off when I'm cutting my matte layers, I just pop into a mug on the side. That will fit on there nicely. And we just grab my scraps out. See if I've got any wild wheat scraps in my little scrap thing. I haven't got that many. But certainly we can cut one using a scrap. So let's stamp this. Going for the wild wheat one again. So it all ties in. And let's just put that there. There we go. So I want to cut that down. Or do we? I think we might have it flagged. And if we're coming in from the sides, I'm going to do that. About a 6 centimetre long piece. And then this bit needs to be 2.5 centimetres wide. I've just got just a bit there I can cut off. I'm going to do this much bigger. I want to flag it. So I'm going to pop that onto there. Come in that end. Let's just flag the top bit first. So what I do is I grab a pencil and I mark it halfway, and then we snip it up a little bit. Doesn't matter how far up, just decide, and then go from the corner to the, move this down a little bit, so you can see to the bit I've cut. So like so, and I do it on the other side. Okay, stick that down. And this is the one that pours out, and it still pours out even though I've used it loads of times. Right, so let's put this on here because I want it coming in from the side. Let's do that like that, and then do the same again. And then I'm just using the outline of this to now snip up to it. And then hold that there, so that'll be about right. There we go. And then let's pop this, put that back. Just glue this down then. And whoops, sticking to my stamping mat. And then stick that on there, and then we'll raise this one up on pads. So these have now dried on the back of it, so and then we just put this, come in from that, in between those two. There we go, and then we can bone fold the score line, like so. And there's our first card that we've done. So let's do some more with those little bits there. Okay, so do a Pebble Path card. I'm just going to bone fold it first this time. Okay, I want to do one that is portrait. I'm going to use the books this time. I'm going to use my favourite little owl. Okay, so we have it like that. Now I want a bit of a background. So I'm going to do some stamping on the back. So I think I'm going to be doing, let's just clean that. I want to use that block again. And I'm going to, in fact, he looks nice just like that, with the words underneath, I think. So let's do one like that first. And my scraps again. Do Pebble Path. I've got a very thin strip. It does fit on there. Probably not, but let's use this. And I think we're going to go for celebrate. Let's celebrate, because I think that reminds me of a graduation card. Let's just line this up on my mat. There we go. And I think we are going to, same width as that, cut a bit of that off, but I want a thinner. Is this going to fit on it? Yeah, get a really thin one now. So it goes out the way. And bring this back. And let's use the Pebble Path ink. And let's just put that on. I'm just thinking, I want to have it going right across, so I'm going to cut it first. I am. Let's cut that, and that's 10. Let's just do it a little bit longer. There we go. And I think it's in the middle. That way. There we go. And then I can cut. That is going to go over slightly, that's fine, because I can trim it down. And I'm going to cut this. Just check what size this is. This is a centimetre. So I'm going to do it 1.5 centimetres. And then let's just pop that out of the way, because my desk is getting messy, as it always does. I need to cut that down a bit to just over 10. Right, okay. We can fix that on there. Yep, we like that. And just put that down there. Oops. So there. Let's just move it to that edge. That's it. There we go. Make sure it's lined up. It's not quite square. It's better. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the matte layer first. We just close that up, because I know I will get ink on me. So like that there. I'm going to raise him up so he sits on it. Okay, so let's glue the books down first. Hi Valerie, glad you could join us. Whoops, turn it the right way around. Now this, see this one? No, this one is still current, I think. But it's a lovely stamp set to use. Dimensionals. There's my cut bits. Here we go. And put that there. As you know, I do talk while I'm crafting. I talk to my products. Does anybody else do that? And just pull the backs off. Just raise him up so his little feet are on the books. There we go. And then we want to put this on the bottom of it. Now you can add gems to it if you want to. We'll go right to the edge with that. There we go. So let's just put that down the bottom there. It's lined up. Let's let it stick for a bit, and then we'll just trim down the sides. That's good. That's good. That does. And what? Let's see. No, I think I'm just going to leave him like that. What I might do is I want to add a bit of shadow under my books. So I'm just going to grab my watercolor pencils and go for the grey. Let's just do a little bit of shadow underneath it. Like so, and then the blender pen, I'm just going to there we go. It's just added a very faint shadow underneath those books. I'm glad you talk as well, Lisa. So I'm just going to trim off the ends here because we made them slightly longer, so I could do that. And that side's fine. Let's put that onto our card base. Like so. Oops. Got a bit dried glue in the lid. Let's take that out. And then let's do this one. And that's it. There we go. I still feel he needs something here, but I'm not sure what to put there. But maybe it's just because there's all that white space. Exactly, Lisa. Who else will give me the answer I need? Yes, exactly. So I'll put that with the other. There's the other one. So if I just put those up there, hopefully I remember where they are. So now I want to do my own backgrounds. So let's have a wild wheat and the ink pads, and I think I'm going to stamp books over it. So let's grab a scrap piece of paper. So we're going to make our own background. So we're going to do it same on same. Like so. And then let's just bring this in. And someone's outside because Luna's barking like she does. I'll pop you about there. And then just this one here. I just might need another bit just coming over there. That's better. And I just need a little bit on that top one coming there, just in there. That's better. And just carry on down here. Let's do some down the bottom now. There we go. And we can then, I need a smaller basic white layer. It's too small. I just have to cut one. Or we could actually put him straight on it. We could. So this is my last on my books that I've done. And let's do, I got another book on there. Just do the same again. Oops. There. Looks sweet, doesn't he? And then we will do the same sentiment again. It just fits. There's the white I used. That'll fit. No, I must use a thinner piece. Is that the thinner piece I used? Where's the card? No, that is the smaller bit. So we used that bit. Just to keep them the same. So let's just cut that one down. Let's go over the 10. No, I want to go 10.5, don't we? Because we're going. No, I'm going to do 10. Let's just do over the 10, and we can cut it down. And then put one of these down to make the back layer. Okay, go. And I know I've got another Pebble Path card base because I cut 2 when I do my when I make my card bases. So let's just score that one down, and we're going to have that on there, and you there. That's pretty. And let's celebrate. I'm going to do that in the Pebble Path. Okay, so just put that in the middle. Yep. And then we'll just lost my glues because I put it away. And just stick you down there. I just realise you can't see. There we go. So let's just stick this on here. There we go. Still a little bit slippery. Whoops. So let's just let that dry a little bit. But in the meantime, we can start to stick these down. So, whoops. If I pop you over there. There we go. Like that. Just cut these up. So you can stick on the bird. Now these colours are retiring, so if you do love them, I will place your order as soon as. And remember, we have our new rewards, stamping rewards now, where you where you get the rewards for if you place an order for £20 and over, and then you can spend it on your next order, or you can save it up and buy a suite or a bundle. Cut and emboss machine. So all you do is when you go on to your account, there is a pop-up and you just say yes, and then you get the rewards, which is really good. That's looking good, so let's just stick that on there. Put that in the middle, like so. Over, that's it. Let that stick. Let's just give it a quick trim. And then this side. I'm having to bring it closer so I can see where I'm cutting. There we go. There we go. I actually quite like that one. Probably because there's no white space. Okay, so that's our third one we've done. Right. There's all these little bits. Right, okay, so a bit quick tidy up so I know where everything is. Right, okay, so put those pencils away. Okay, and all my ink pads there. Right, what have we got left? We've got the owls. Oops, it's not going to work. Put those there. So we've got 3 owls. So I'm thinking, let's do a card with some cutouts in it. So let's get my circle punches. So you're going to fit in that one? Roughly. So am I going to use... So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do one there. And we'll do one here. And do one here. There we go. Oh, that's been near the edge. That's fine. And I want that go that one that colour. And he can sit in each one like that. Yeah, we like that. Then we'll do something with this. So I'm thinking if we do some background again, I'm going to use the leaves. I think, yeah, I'll use the same colour ink. I'm going to stamp it off so it's not as dark. I'm just going to try and randomly stamp it. But you know, I always say I really struggle to do random. Whoops, let it focus a bit. And then we're going to put one there. We want one that comes in like that. So we can add not texture, but add something to our matte layers just by doing this. So it's not just a straightforward card matte layer. Nearly there. There we go. Coming like that. And I want to come in like that. Get in there. Down there. And then I want to come in just one here. There we go. So we've done our matte layer, and some have come out darker than others, but that doesn't matter. It's a background. Okay, so let's get our card. We're doing same on same. And then we can add these in there. But we could use two. I like that one better. And have our sentiment there. Yeah, we could do that. So let's get some basic white cardstock. Let's cut some circles out. There we go. Because they will pop in there because they're the ones that we cut out. No, I'm actually thinking the white's really harsh. So I might, don't like that. So I might just stamp it in the middle there. So let's stick this down. There we go. Should I get it the right way up? Put that on there. Whoops, I've got a little bit of glue showing there, but that doesn't matter because I've got my glue adhesive I can use on that. Okay, so we need to have a smaller sentiment. So we can have just a note. Will fit in there. Thanks. I always think the word thanks is being sarcastic, so I tend not to use it, but maybe that's just me. So just a note. I'll just put that full strength in that circle. There we go. And then let's pop our little owls in there. And I'm not going to raise them up. This time I'm going to do them flat. There. There we go. Let's curl in a bit. That's better. And let's pop you there. because the glue's wet and it's watercolor paper, so the moisture is making it go there. It's better. There we go. So there we go. Now, got time to do one more. So I've got a few bits here. So I want to do a branch. So I'm going to have another white matte layer. So well on here. And I want the branches. There. I'm going to do, where's my piece of, I'm actually going to do some, one that comes in there, and I want to do one that comes in down here. Have him, have that down there. There we go. Can't see it again, sorry. So I've just stamped those. Let's have a look. So I want those two to be there. There, that's good. And then where's the other one gone? Down here. He can go there. Okay. I'll just colour in. Do some lines on that branch because it's looking a bit bare. Just get the right markers. I'll use the small end. I'm just going to draw on some strokes. Make it look more like a branch. The same on this one. Just do some little strokes on it. It's got a few knots in it. There we go. In fact, make them slightly longer. There we go. And we can put them on there. So they're there and that one's there. We have a sentiment here. So have that there. Let's do a bigger circle using copper clay again. So just find a scrap. No, it's not copper clay, it's wild weeds, isn't it? Yes. Okay, let's use this piece. So it can go like that, there. It can go like that, yeah, like that. And we need, I just think, so let's put some leaves coming down from up here, I think. So let's use the copper clay one. Let's just clean this up. Does it have a mixture of ink on it? Right, so let's just come in there. do one slightly off. And then just do a nice, do darker one there. Here we go. That balances it better, I think. Here we go. And in the sentiment, we will have just the note. Did we use that? Where is it gone? Where have I lost it? That's not good. I stuck an ink pad on it. What am I like? So for just the note on this one, stamp it in the middle. There we go. And then we can just stick it down. So let's get this down first. Onto there. There we go. And this bird, I think we would just stick them down and have the sentiment raised. So you can sit there. You are going to stick this one here. You can stick there. Put a little bit, there you go, and you can stick at the end. Put your there. There. And then we'll just raise this one up. Guess we've lost her dimensionals. There you go. Oops, oh, that landed where I wanted it to go. That was pure luck. And just a couple of these little bits off here. There and you there. There we go. I want you to go there. There we go. You're stuck down flat. Card base, matte layer. There we go. Just put it down there. And then score the card. There we go. So today we have made 5 cards. More than I expected to make today. So we've got 5 cards. Started off with a very simple stamped branch with the leaves. And then a flagged sentiment. Then we did the little bird with the books. We did the same again, but this time we stamped our background. And we did similar background, but we punched out the holes and popped the birds in there. And then this one, we just used up the other birds and made that card. So remember, if you want want to go back and have a look at the Re-Inker Flow, it's on the playlist. There's 4 techniques, and it was the one that went live on Sunday. So I hope you have enjoyed seeing how I turned my my Re-Inker Flow birds into cards. So until next time, keep stamping and crafting. Bye.